Yeah, farming is extremely important to society and really everybody's life, because without farms and without people processing and making food, there would be nothing for anybody to eat. So at the end of the day, everybody's food, everything everybody drinks, more or less comes from a farm. So they're critical to our society.
On January 16, 2020, we drove to Turner Farms factory to learn from third-generation owner Steve Turner just how important farming is to the community and the world.
So the building behind where the 2 tank trucks is, that's our lab. It is going to be moving into the office where we were when we first started. But this is where our milking parlor and barn used to be when my great-grandfather started the business in the 30s. So, and then in the late 90s, we got rid of all of our cows. It didn't make sense to farm here anymore. So we converted that into our testing lab and warehouses. So after the milk is processed, after it's batched, homogenized, pasteurized, it gets pumped up here, and then everything from here down to the fillers is all gravity fed. And there's 10,000 gallon tanks up here. So if all these tanks were full, there would be 1 million pounds on this floor. It's definitely important for people to understand where all their food comes from, and really the incredible amount of hard work that it takes for farmers to make food for us and to make really a pretty modest living for the amount of work that goes into it. The guys who are driving the milk tank trucks aren't our employees. Okay. They have a hauling business and are typically farmers also. But for all of our truck drivers, they all have to have at least a CDL Class B license, and they'll do a road test as well, okay, as part of their training and interview process. So.
He took us through the factory, where there are about 15 workers on the floor at a time, to show us where the milk is made and produced, and then sold and shipped out around the area.
If there were no cows, a lot of people wouldn't have a lot of their favorite products, whether it's chocolate milk or ice cream, yogurt, cheese, anything like that. If there were no cows, there would be none of that food available for people. And there would be a lot of people out of work if there were no cows.
Going through the factory taught us a lot about the importance of farming and how much farming does for the world. Yeah, so over the last
20 to 30 years, the milk industry, this fluid milk industry, has seen a 2, 3, 4, 5% decrease every year. And we're blessed that we've been able to actually see increases in our sales volume over that time. And we would attribute that to mostly the quality of our products, and that they taste good every day. People can trust them, that they're going to be safe to drink, that they're going to taste good for their family, good for nutrition, things of that nature.
Seeing the storage room and the process to ship the products really brings to light how much work is done to bring our favorite products right to us.
So this is just where the cartons are cleaned and getting ready to package up?
Yeah, so they'll come back off trucks and come up those two elevators from downstairs. They'll come up, those elevators come around the corner, and then they'll get washed here, stacked. And then depending on if we're actually running at the time, they'll just go around this track and then go to where they're coming up and over there, then they'll go back down to the plant. But if it's at the end of the day, there'll be somebody up here to pull them off the track and put them kind of in the middle here until tomorrow. So for today's trucks, we'll probably load out the rest of what was made yesterday. Then in between today, tomorrow, and Saturday, we'll finish loading out everything that we got today. But this is where we load trucks. Basically, all the cases will come down around the corner on the track, and they'll come here. And then when that gets pushed in, the pusher will come out here, the truck will be docked out there, and it'll get pushed out onto the truck.
How long does it take to usually pack a truck?
They'll load a truck in about 12 minutes. So that's between like 300 and 400 cases going on the truck. And on our busiest days, they'll load 65 or 70 trucks.
The products are stored for only a few hours in a refrigerated room before being shipped out to consumers around the area.
Yeah, a few years ago, whenever we had a significant amount of rainfall, way more than normal, it definitely makes it a lot harder for farmers to grow crops. Because if there's too much water, some crops won't grow well. And then on top of that, everything is just muddy and it makes a mess. It's harder to keep animals clean and healthy and things like that when it's a really wet environment, which we get a lot in Western PA. But probably depending on who you ask, it hasn't been as cold the last few years, so it's much better when it's not as cold, because farming's all outside, so everything would freeze up if it gets really cold out and things like that.
The factory moved very efficiently through and through, from bringing in fresh milk all the way to the shelves of the store.
So we purchase all of our milk from it's about 40 local independent family-owned farms. All of them are located in Cambria, Westmoreland, Indiana, and Armstrong counties. And they're all within 70 miles of our plant here in Penn Hills. The most important thing to support farming and agriculture in our state is to really focus on buying local food. So things that are either grown around us, whether that's even something as small as a stand with sweet corn in the summertime, or buying from local producers, somebody like us that's processing milk that's exclusively purchased from farms in our area in Western Pennsylvania. At the end of the day, everybody's food, everything everybody drinks, more or less comes from a farm. So they're critical to our society.